about that. Forgot you're not supposed to breathe into the mic. Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome to the Bosqueville graduation for the class of 2020. If any of our graduates remember, I was supposed to do the opening prayer at our high school graduation. But my part was accidentally skipped. I forgot to add this, but our graduation was also added a day before. We were actually supposed to have our last day of school. So in the next day of class, I told everyone that even though the graduation was 4 years away, I would be doing the opening prayer at our high school graduation. So I'm pretty sure I had some doubters, but I was glad I was able to come through for you guys and for myself. If you please bow your heads. Dear Lord, I want to thank you for being with me and my fellow graduates throughout our years at Bosqueville. Please bless our friends and family for supporting us. Bless our teachers and staff and administrators for going above and beyond to take care of us. I know that you will continue to be with us as we move on to new stages in our lives. So would you help us to trust you as you lead us in your plans? God, I want to honor you tonight because you are so good. Thank you for making a way for us to have a graduation ceremony, and thank you for the Bosqueville family that you have given us through each other. In Jesus' name, amen. Yes, ma'am. Well, class of 2020, we finally did it. Welcome to the first day of the rest of our lives. Some of us who are college-bound are going to be in that weird zone where we're not seniors in high school, but we're not freshmen in college yet either. Some of us will be joining the workforce or the military, and still, some of us don't know what the heck we're doing. All of us will be doing different things after high school, but there's two things that we will always have in common. We are all about to start new adventures, and we're all going to make new memories. Wait, there's one more thing I forgot. We'll always have Bosqueville. Now, I know that we're all excited to get to the rest of the ceremony, so I have two suggestions to help us get the most out of our experience. Ladies, try not to cry so you don't ruin your makeup. And boys, it's okay if you cry a little, but just this once. I want you all to know that I am so proud of you. I have loved being with you these past years. Thank you. Please welcome Destiny Kale and Daniel Rowe to the stage.
That'll be interesting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance to the Texas state flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Graduates, you may be seated. Before I do the introduction of the school board members, obviously there's a lot of things we could say. One, if you told me a month ago we would be celebrating a ceremony in person outside, I would not have thought it, but I don't think we could have gotten anything better than we have tonight. So graduates, you deserve what you're getting tonight. It's the best we could do, and I'm glad it worked out for you. And parents, thank you for bearing with us, working with us to get this done. Waco ISD has been a great host for us. They really helped out getting us to this venue. And also our staff, our administrative staff, teachers have put in a lot of hours of work. As you saw as you entered, there's a lot of things that we had to do, and they did a great job of planning and getting this and making it come together. And we did it, obviously, for the 39 students that we have out here because they deserve it. So thank you all, students, graduates, and parents, and all others that were involved in this. You've done a great job, so thank you. At this time, I'm going to introduce the school board members. Our board president can't be here tonight, but that's Debbie Wright Hood. Lance Donaldson is our vice president. Russell Dvorsky is our secretary. Board members, we have Heath Jackson, Jeff Bird, Jim Braha, and Steve Dow. Thank you for all the work you do for our district and the students. Now at this time, I'd like to introduce our salutatorian. It's my distinct pleasure to introduce the salutatorian for the class of 2020. The salutatorian has the second highest average in the class and will receive the salutatorian medal. She was class officer her junior and senior year and was active in basketball, tennis, cross country, track, FFA, UIL, and PALS program. She is a National Honor Society member and honor graduate who will begin her post-secondary education by attending the University of Texas at Arlington and pursuing her degree as an RN for pediatrics. Please join me in welcoming Brenda Garcia.
Good evening, school board members, administrators, teachers, parents, family, friends, and the class of 2020. First, I would like to thank God for allowing us to all be here tonight. I would also like to thank each and every one of you for being here to celebrate with us this special night, as it's been difficult these past several weeks. Each of you has had a profound impact on the development of the class of 2020. When I first sat down to write this speech, I wasn't exactly sure on what I was going to say. Therefore, I did what I do best. I procrastinated and stayed up all night writing this speech just so I could stay in the spirit of high school. Ms. Carter suggested that I write about my high school experience and what I loved about it. But I realized that it was going to make for a rather short speech. So I decided to stop worrying about it and just write about what came to my mind. For starters, seniors, I ask of you all to remember back to August of 2016, when we were just freshmen officially becoming high schoolers. Graduation was far off in our minds, and we had no way of knowing what the situation would be like on this day. Along the way, we made many unexpected friendships, and we even grew away from some we thought would last a lifetime. Some of us have even grown up our whole lives together since we were in puppy paws. Throughout the years, we have faced many difficult obstacles along the way, and we have laughed until we cried, we have slept in, and we have gone on many food runs together, and we even became professional procrastinators. I should have believed it when people said that high school really does go by fast, especially for the class of 2020. We were born in the shadow of the worst terrorist attack in our nation's history, and now we are graduating as the world grieves a pandemic. This isn't how we envisioned the end of our senior year. If I had known that March 6, 2020 was going to be my very last day to roam through Bosqueville's hallways and see all of my teachers in their classrooms, I probably would have not skipped school that day. Seniors, although two of our biggest events that happen in our lifetime, birth and graduation, have taken place in the midst of tragedies, we can't really do much about it. No, I'm not going to throw a bunch of cliches at you and tell you all to go out and change the world, but instead, I encourage you all to accept the fact that some things are way beyond our control. We have to accept the fact that in life, we will always encounter situations that we cannot control. It's the way we react to those situations that truly matters. I also encourage you all to get a good support system. Whatever you choose to do with your life, whether it's going to college or entering the workforce or the military, surround yourself with positive people who inspire, motivate, and challenge you every day. Surround yourself with people who will not only pick you up when you're down, but slap you in the back of the head to get you back to reality. I myself have been extremely blessed to have two people by my side throughout my life. I would like to thank my mom and dad for always being my #1 supporters and for inspiring me to be the person I am today. Even when I believed that I couldn't, my parents have always been there to wipe away my tears and ensure me that, in fact, I can. My mother and father were born and raised in poverty among 13 other children. Both sacrificed a lot at a young age just to come to the United States to have a better life and to get away from Mexico's poverty. Both wanted to do everything they possibly could do so that my siblings and I would never have to endure that life. I have seen both my parents come home from work dripped in sweat just to provide a better life for us. The words that I have always grown up hearing were, "Tu única salida de esta vida es a través de una educación," which means, your only way out of this lifestyle is through an education. I've seen my father, who barely had a 4th grade education, go back to school to get his high school diploma and become the electrician that he always wanted to be. My parents came from absolutely nothing to giving us everything we ever wanted and needed. Now I truly understand the values that they instilled in my siblings and me at a very young age. Respect for myself and others, hard work, honesty, and most of all, dedication. Tonight, for the seniors of 2020, I want to tell you that the best way of getting revenge is to prove others wrong, because as long as that you believe that you can, you always will. I want you all to look up into those stands and find your family and friends. They have been the people that have always supported, helped, and loved you throughout your life. They are extremely proud of you tonight for all of your accomplishments. Altogether, we are a very talented and brilliant class, and we are going to do amazing things in life. So this is where it begins, right here and right now. Thank you.
Every school has a valedictorian with exceptional grades as the highest ranking graduate. At Bosqueville, we have the privilege to have a valedictorian who not only goes above and beyond in his academics, but is a well-rounded student in all areas. During his high school career, he was active in band, FFA, tennis, and UIL. He is an honor graduate and a member of the National Honor Society, as well as a recipient of the National Hispanic Merit Scholar Award. This student plans to attend the University of Texas at Austin with a major in astrophysics and aerospace engineering. Please join me in welcoming our valedictorian, Adrian Amaro.
First off, I would like to thank all those responsible for helping us seniors get to where we are. To the school board, I thank you for making the important decisions that guide our school. To the amazing teachers and coaches that want to help us better ourselves, thank you for having a passion for your jobs. Y'all helped us each and every single day. To the amazing ag department that has taught me and many others lifelong skills, thank you. To the faculty that keeps us fed and the faculty that keeps the school clean, thank you for making our school a better place. To our friends and family, thank you Thank you for giving us the encouragement and camaraderie to get us to this point. And I cannot express enough thanks to all the amazing parents that guided us as we grew up. I know that without my parents, I would not be graduating here today. For them, I am endlessly grateful. To everyone here, on behalf of the class of 2020, I thank you. I believe it's safe to say that this year has not gone the way that we had thought it would. In my case, I thought I'd enjoy a final year of tennis, thought I'd enjoy prom, the senior walk, but none of that came to pass. My class, the class of 2020, was robbed of these events and countless more. We did things together for the last time without even knowing it. We missed out on days of time that we could have spent with friends. We canceled things we look forward to all year. And to top it all off, we had to be stuck with our family for months on end. But despite the fact that we missed some of the things we look forward to the most, I think there's an important takeaway in all of this. We can have something planned out in our heads. We can account for seemingly everything, but life can sometimes deal us a hand that we can't do anything about. If there's one thing that high school has taught me, it's to prepare for what you can control, but to not worry about what you can't. As high schoolers, we tended to overly worry about the little things, but I believe if we can internalize that ideal of worrying less and enjoying life more, I think all of us can truly be happier. Our time here at Bosqueville has been amazing, and I know that because of everyone who has worked to get us here, my class will be successful in all of our endeavors. This is a day we have looked forward to for years, and because of y'all, I know that we are prepared. Thank you. Please welcome Luke Hayes to introduce tonight's guest speaker.
How close do I need to get it? Cody Carlson is a healthcare executive. He has worked as a hospital administrator, as a legislative affairs consultant, advocating for healthcare clients before the state legislature and state agencies. His current role is in business solutions for hospitals and physicians. Cody grew up in San Antonio, Texas, where he attended Churchill High School. He graduated from Baylor University with a business degree in marketing and management. He pursued postgraduate studies in liberal arts at St. Edward's University. After graduating from Baylor, he was drafted in the third round of the NFL draft by the Houston Oilers, which is now the Tennessee Titans, playing for 8 years. Cody was inducted into the Baylor Sports Hall of Fame, the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame, and the Texas High School Sports Hall of Fame. He was a member of the Governor's Council on Physical Fitness, supporting initiatives to improve the health of Texas residents, and he has served on a board member for several nonprofits, including the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. He currently serves on the board of directors of the B Association, which is the Baylor's athletic alumni group. He and his wife, Barbara, have twins, Anna and Micah, who graduated from college in May of 2020. Their youngest child, Isaac, finished his junior year. Please help me welcome Cody Carlson.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Board of Trustees. Thank you, high school administration. And most of all, thank you, class of 2020 from Bosqueville High School, your family, your friends, and all of those who helped you get to this moment. It is an honor for me to be here to speak to you guys. 38 years ago, I sat in a room awaiting my name to be called so that I could get my diploma as a high school graduate. Recently, I was helping my sister in cleaning out my parents' house, and I came across the program of that night's ceremonies. I began reading the 1982 Winston Churchill High School Commencement program, and as my eyes fell upon names of our student class officers, I began to remember faces. I remember the setting and even the walk across the stage because I was afraid I would stub my toe and sprawl out in front of the crowd. Is anybody nervous about that? Y'all look like you're totally capable. I remember a few fragments of events that happened while a high school student, and a few words of often quoted Winston Churchill speeches came to my mind. These were usually mantras that we spoke about as a football team or in a big moment before a big event. So I was reminded about the wit of Winston Churchill and decided to dive in a little bit more and see what were some of the other ideas that he spoke about. This was one. All great things are simple and can be expressed in a single word: freedom, justice, honor, duty, mercy, hope. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. One quip from the British Prime Minister that you might find especially appropriate is this: say what you have to say, and the first time you come to a sentence with a grammatical ending, sit down. I've missed many opportunities to do that already, but I do understand the gist of what he is saying. Don't drone on and on. So, it is relevant that when I looked at the program of my graduation ceremonies, I did not see the commencement speaker's name. I did not remember any word that the commencement speaker said. And neither will you be able to recall what I said tonight. So I will keep it short and simply speak about a limited few things that you will probably hear multiple times in many ways over the years. Some of those things have already been stated, so that through time they might become part of the fabric of who you are and what you do. Though my generation is different than yours, and my experiences are different than yours, truth is truth in any generation and in any pursuit. Number one, a commitment to excellence is individual and is constant. It is not that you don't need others to help you along, but each and every day you have to decide what you're going to do. Whether that be to enroll in classes, learn a skill, apply for a job, you will have to overcome self-doubt, or the fear of missing out, or the will to put things off. You will have to overcome a rough process somewhere along the way, or the pain of rejection, or even the loss of a job. So wake up each day with commitment. That is a commitment to take the next step, to do what is right and what you know is truth. Have proceeding ahead on your mind. And when you have grieved for a loss or considered a disappointment, or put in an exhaustingly hard day, count it as a benefit that will make you stronger, more capable, and more compassionate. Consider that your struggles make achievement sweeter, and overcoming your difficulties can be a model to others. Number two, practice promotes excellence. When I was young, there was a theme that was taught time and again, usually by coaches, which is probably still uttered today. Practice makes perfect. When I arrived in the NFL, the saying changed to perfect practice makes perfect. While it was known even then that there is no perfection on this earth, the maxim dramatizes the reality that the requirements to succeed need to be practiced. The higher the level, the greater the sacrifice, the greater the practice. What I often saw on the field as a professional mattered not just on the field, but also off of the field. My very first start as a quarterback in the NFL boiled down to a last seconds. And our coach knew exactly what play to call. But it wasn't a play that we had practiced too much. And so when the game was on the line, we were lucky to win. He asked me what I would rather have run, and I said something that I actually knew, something that I ran in college that I had practiced. Elite performers in any field are said to have put in 10,000 hours of practice before their peak. But if you think of only in the sum total of hours as the goal, then you will miss the point. No elite athlete or doctor or soldier or teacher or technician or minister ever counted the hours along the way. They committed to practicing excellence, which carried them forward to good habits and then expertise. Number 3, no matter what it seems like, there is always hope. In 1990, which was my 4th year in the NFL, the Buffalo Bills football team won 2 playoff games to earn a right to play the New York Giants in Super Bowl 25. They lost by a single point when a field goal in the last seconds went wide to the right of the goalpost. In 1991, the Bills won 2 playoff games, then lost Super Bowl 26. In 1992, the Bills won 3 playoff games and then lost Super Bowl 27. In 1993, the Bills won 2 playoff games and they lost the Super Bowl, making them the only team to make it to the Super Bowl, the pinnacle of football, 4 straight years, but also the only team to lose 4 Super Bowls. You might be thinking that's an odd example, that the Buffalo Bills always lost the one that mattered. It is true that they always lost the Super Bowl, but that isn't what mattered the most. The fact that the Bills were able to be resilient, overcoming failure and disappointment, and continuing to practice, continuing to commit, was the admiration of the league. The Bills, because of their fortitude, because of their closeness that was forged in defeat and struggle, drew a community together. They acted respectfully in that community and toward their competitors. They held out hope, and that hope impacted many others. 4, and finally, and this is going to shock you a little bit if you don't listen closely, your life is infectious. We are very aware of how a bad infection spreads. One person has contact with multiple people, and those contact multiple others. Don't we also know how a good or a bad attitude, or good or a bad will spreads? It has been calculated that if 10 people are changed by a single person's actions, and those 10 each have an impact on 10 more, and so on, then during a lifetime, 800 million people will have been affected. Your actions and words will change your spouse, your kids, your friends, your neighbors, your city, ultimately people around the world. The question is, how will you change it? This generation has grown up in unprecedented times. And because of it, this generation can accomplish unprecedented things. It can be the generation, it can be the class of Bosqueville that stands for excellence in pursuit of a healthy, fair, and peaceful society. Whatever this graduating class achieves, it will begin with committed and consistent individuals who encourage others as they move through struggles and change. As a Christian, I believe that even in the darkest days, there is reason to hope in a bigger plan than what we see or even understand. There is a reason to work hard for and practice to become excellent, because it matters not just to us as individuals, but it affects many, many, many others. While this night is meant to look back over many days of process and growth, it is also meant to look forward to the same. The class of 2020 has faced a pandemic unlike any the world has faced in 100 years. And not only resulting social shutdown, but also a phrase that was before unknown, social distancing. I personally like physical distancing better because we all know how important social closeness is. So as we practice social distancing, respectful of others, or physical distancing, remember that you are created to be social in community with other people. And I look forward to the day when we can do that again. And I know that y'all do as well. Rejoice in the acknowledgement of what you have completed, what you have proved you are capable of, facing the challenges that life brings and accomplishing the tasks before you. Remember this year, 2020, for recognizing that you can control your outlook and your actions, whether you can see the future clearly or not. Go Bulldogs. Thank you.
Will the class of 2020 please stand? Bosqueville ISD Board of Trustees and Superintendent Skeeler, the class of 2020 has fulfilled the requirements set forth by the Texas Education Agency and the Bosqueville Independent School District. I therefore recommend the approval of their high school diplomas. Graduates, please prepare for the awarding of the diplomas. Our valedictorian, Adrian Amaro. Brenda Marissa Garcia. Jacob Allen Baker. Sarah Marie Brummett. Destiny Elizabeth Kale. Faith Kelly Carpenter. Michael Castaneda. Aaron Blake Castillo. Madison Elizabeth Clanton. Kevin Contreras. Berkeley Reed Cowan. Carol Deanne Crudgington. Coral Deanne Crudgington. Isaiah Raywan Danforth. That's it. Matthew Edward Dawson. Raul Rene Espinoza. Jalen Tiger Flores. Lane Parker Francis. Alexis Jean Garner. James Garrett Garvelli. Ian Christopher Guerrero. Lucas Warren Hayes. Dalton Joe Light. Will Gregory McClellan. Blake Lewis Munkus. Victor Manuel Mosqueda. Caleb Matthew Moyer. Taylor Marie Nelson. Rachel Ann Plank. Israel Santos Ramos. Traymon Randolph. Braylon James Reynolds. Daniel Hugh Rowe. Okay. Zane Joseph Rowe. Abigail Grace Sanders. Tristan Cale Skipworth. Jalen Rose Thomas. Christopher Tompkins. Victor Guerrero Vega. Davin McKay Washington. Seniors, please stand. You have now completed your high school education and received your diplomas. By the power vested in me by the Bosqueville ISD Board of Trustees and the Texas Education Agency, I declare you graduates of Bosqueville High School. Congratulations to each of you. Graduates, please be seated. At this time, I would like to invite your classmates, Jacob Baker and Davin Washington, to assist with the changing of the tassel.
Thank you, Mr. Heath. As a representative of Bosqueville's class of 2020, I would like to bring this ceremony to a close. As this ceremony ends one chapter of our lives, it also marks the beginning of a new one. After today, we will graduate and part ways, but we will always share a special connection and a bond. We will forever hold the memories and experiences from BHS and will forever be Bulldogs. This is it, graduates. The moments you've been hoping and waiting for. You may now remove your please welcome Davin to help us complete this long withstanding tradition.
Graduates, please stand. Changing your tassel symbolizes one's transition from candidate to graduate. This gesture signifies that you have completed one part of your life and are starting a new one. Please join me in moving our tassels from the right to the left. At this time, will Coral, Alexis, and Jalen please come to the stage? What do we do? Do we take these ones? Yep.
Good evening. I would like to thank every one of you for joining us tonight. Considering the current circumstances, we didn't have a chance to finish out our last few months of high school. The moments we missed are very upsetting, but we have much more to look back on. All the students might have a certain group of friends that they hang out with consistently, but it's the memories we made together that matter most. From spray painting the road for homecoming, to walking the field on senior night, and the senior parade, to this moment right now. These are the memories we will all cherish together.
As we entered our senior year, I can guarantee you that none of us saw this coming. We were expecting prom, senior pranks, sporting events. It is easy to focus on the negatives, but let's look at the positive outcomes of this situation. First, we had Adopt a Senior, where many people willingly honored us by giving us gifts. Secondly, we had the senior parade, the first senior parade ever at Bosqueville High School. Lastly, the administration not only allowed us one senior skip day, but 49 of them. We have many memories at Bosqueville that we will all cherish forever. Even as we go our separate ways, we will be able to look back on our memories just like we are going to do here tonight. Now, my best friend since kindergarten, Jalen Thomas, will lead us into the senior look back video.
As Coral and Alexis mentioned, we, the graduating class of 2020, have been together a hot minute. As you view this slideshow, you will see how we have grown and changed to become the young men and women standing before you now. While the world as we know it in 2020 has completely changed, while Rona tried to wreck our last year of high school, it didn't succeed. We are the class of 2020. Now we have been prepared to deal with the changes that life will certainly bring us. We intend to go forward in life in the same way. We will simply roll with the changes and be victorious in life. Now please join us in looking back at the memories over these eventful years.
Well, class of 2020, that flew by fast, just like our parents said it would. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. We just walked across this stage, got our diplomas, and now we're on to the next chapter in our lives. But not long before this, just about 8 weeks ago, we were texting our friends for late night ice cream runs, sprinted to class just so you wouldn't get another tardy for those select few like me, going to Friday pep rallies before the big game, eating together after Friday football games at Whataburger and Belmead till about 3 a.m., dancing in the locker room before a volleyball practice, and singing on the bus on the way home. Also, just a few weeks ago, we were listening to Mr. Heath on the intercom every morning telling us, make it a grade there or not, the choice is yours. And don't forget the transition of spray painting our names on the road Thursday night before homecoming so the next morning everyone could see the senior class. It's hard saying goodbye to all those wonderful memories that Bosqueville High School has brought us. But all good things must come to an end, and in the words of Winnie the Pooh, how lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. Thank you to all my friends at Bosqueville High School and making great memories.
At this time, would Sarah, Aaron, and Garrett please come forward to lead us in the school song? I would also like to ask our families and friends to join us in the school song. At the conclusion of the school song, we'll be dismissing the graduates by their groups. When the graduate group is released, we ask that you also exit the stadium in the parking lot, those attendees who came with each of the graduates.
We gather here today to celebrate a momentous achievement in all of our lives. Whether you're a graduate yourself or a parent who helped push them along all of these hard years, it shows that we have much hard work and determination just to get here tonight. We have persevered through all that life has thrown at us for the past 12 years, and it has led us here, to this stage. Graduates and guests, please stand and join us for the last time that we will sing the school song as a class of 2020. Bulldogs, Bulldogs, we salute you. We'll defend you till the end. Blue and white will live forever. On our loyalty depends. We will always fight with honor. See our spirit and our pride. Bosqueville will live forever. Victory is on our side.
Okay, Garrett.
Okay, before we end, you know, there are a lot of great things about Bosqueville. One of them being, just because you've graduated tonight doesn't mean you're still not part of the family of Bosqueville Bulldogs. Remember, we're always going to be here for you. If you ever need anything, we'll help you. Y'all have done a great job. It's just something you'll be able to tell your kids and grandkids, but you made it, so congratulations. At this time, just like we had a required entry, we have a required exit. So what we'll do is dismiss the graduates by their groups, 1, 2, 3, and 4, just as you came in, and as the recessional goes and they go by, attendees, whoever you came with, as they leave, we ask that you leave the stadium and parking lot for our exit. At this time, Group 1, graduates and families, please stand to begin the recessional. Group 2, you may exit. Group 3, you may stand and exit. Group 4, you may stand and exit.